Hi there, it's Galen. Today I have a winter card, a cute Christmas card or holiday card for you, and I'm showing a little bit of ink blending and Copic coloring, and I'm using one tone for coloring along with background pattern paper. So I had this large stamp that's a background. It's all one stamp, and I decided to use a die to just trim this in half. I like to use partial images sometimes so that I can make another card later on with the other image. So I have half of the stamping that I'm going to use along with pretty pattern paper by Unity. I have Unity Stamp Company stamps called Cheerful Prancing, Brisk Salutations, and paper by Unity called Rustic Winter Wishes. I'm using a die cut by My Creative Time. It is an edge die, and I'm using a various small selection of Copic markers. I'm using a blender brush for distress ink in peacock feathers, and the brush I'm using is actually a makeup brush that is perfect for blending. I'm also using a Tim Holtz Ranger plastic craft mat for blending. I have the sentiment already stamped and cut out, and I trimmed already the half of the background panel. And so I'm using coordinating distress ink color along with similar colors of Copic markers to mimic just like a one-tone look for the card, for the coloring part. I'm using the peacock feathers color for blending on the distress ink, and I just very lightly go over it in multiple layers of blending. I start from the outside and I go in, adding color. The way to take off color is just with these brushes, is just to rub it onto a piece of paper. It takes off a lot of the color. Now for the snowman, I'm just adding coordinated color tone of Copic markers for just the scarves and the hats and the mittens. And then I go in again with more Copics in a lighter shade of the same color family for the slopes, the snow drifts and snow slopes. I just sort of outline the different layers of slopes lightly. And really that's all. I add a little color to the snowflake, and that's all for this panel. Now the background I chose is a vintage style plaid. It's part of the paper pack with Rustic Winter Wishes by Unity. And I trimmed that panel to be a background for the card base. And I use... first I trim the card base with a Fiskars paper trimmer. Now, I forgot to mention, so over the distress ink, if you want a little splatter look, the look of texture in the background, you can just add a little water in your hands and clap it over the distress ink, and it will leave tiny bits of splatter marks. It looks almost like a snow sky when you do that. And I heat set that, and when you heat set it, the splatters show up better. So after trimming the background panel, I adhered it with flat double-sided tape. Now on the snowman panel, I'm adhering that with foam tape because I just want it to lift up a little off the page. I do the same with the sentiment. I have part of it with foam tape and part of it with flat tape, just so that it remains level on the card front. I hope you like this winter card today. Thanks so much for watching. Please take a moment to like and follow me on my YouTube channel and subscribe. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.